Hi everybody, it's Deanna Gutman here, and Sarah Deeth is here with me. She's behind the camera, and because we are respecting social distancing, we have to be like 1 to 2 meters apart from each other. So instead of sitting next to each other, we're going to be sitting across the table from each other. So you'll probably hear a voice out of nowhere every once in a while as we still continue to carry on a conversation. And then we're just going to take turns being the camera person. So you'll see the camera angle change a lot throughout this podcast. So we don't really want this podcast to be about COVID-19. I know that everybody is doing their best to practice self-isolation, and here at the shop we've been actually closed. The bricks and mortar has been closed for almost a week now. So we did want to let you know a little bit about what we are doing, our creative solutions to keep everybody knitting. So right now, we actually just updated our entire website. The website is brand spanking new. It's got a lot of new features, like a much more intuitive search and lots of new filters and things like that. And we are offering free local delivery. So we'll deliver to your home in Peterborough, Lakefield area. And we're also offering curbside pickup, which can be arranged by appointment. So you can pick those as your options for delivery. And we're also, just to flatten things out so that everybody has access to affordable shipping, we're offering a flat rate shipping of $8. So no matter the size of your order or where it is in Canada, this is for domestic orders only, we're only charging $8. So that's sort of what's happening in terms of the bricks and mortar being shut down. And we have some other initiatives as well to keep everybody's spirits up and to keep us all knitting. So I'm going to turn it over to Sarah.
Well, as Deanna mentioned, the bricks and mortar store here is closed, and we really do miss you guys so much. And we miss talking to you about knitting. We miss our knit nights. So at Needles in the Hay, we are doing a virtual knit along. It's open to absolutely everyone. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what you're working on. Maybe you're digging into your stash. Now is a great time to do that. Maybe it's a treat that you've ordered here from the yarn store. We are hoping that you are knitting something that is bringing you a little bit of comfort during these times that can be a little stressful. You can find the link for that actually on our Facebook page. Just search for Needles in the Hay. You do have to ask to join the group, but that's okay. Either Deanna, myself, or Grace will approve you. And it's actually developed into actually a great, lively online group of people. So many of our friends are joining us. So many people are talking about their knitting. So many people are sharing ideas and tips, and we're actually seeing some really wonderful and beautiful projects online. So you know what, if you can't make it here to the shop to share your knitting with us, you can try and find your way online. As an added incentive, anyone who joins the Facebook group and joins our virtual knit along in that group, you will see that there is a very special discount for those who are participating. Just to give you a sense of what I'm doing, I'm a lace knitter. I love knitting lace, and I'm doing a pie shawl. I'm doing Jersall by Jared Flood. I am doing it in beautifully soft Myak. It doesn't look like anything because it's a pie shawl, and it never does. It won't look like anything until I block it. But so you'll have to just trust me when I say that this is just like absolutely beautiful, and the color is gorgeous, and it's going to be a beautiful finished product when it's all done.
Yeah, and that yarn is made of 50% baby yak fiber and 50% silk. It's a light fingering, gorgeous stuff.
And you know what, it's and so I've been posting updates on that in the virtual knit along group, and so if you haven't joined yet, join and you'll see what I'm talking about there.
So Brooklyn Tweed also has some really exciting initiatives happening right now. They really wanted to help the knitting community and keep that supply chain going. So in order to do that, they've developed an initiative called Apart Together. And what that means is that when you support their website, or preferably your local yarn store, we are Brooklyn Tweed Destination Store, we have special discount codes that you can use. So the codes are Together 10, Together 20, and together 30, and you can choose how much you can afford to pay during this current climate. So you can apply any of those codes right up until May the 15th. And what Brooklyn Tweed is doing is for every skein that I discount for you, they credit my account for that amount. So the local yarn stores don't actually lose any of their profits, which is great. So everybody's working together, and then that means that you have access to great yarn to use during this time where you're stuck at home. The other thing that we have to show you is Brooklyn Tweed has some new colors in Arbor. So actually they've been quite popular, and I've sold out of sea glass, but they're called sea glass, spruce, and burnish. So this is sea glass here, this sort of pale bluey green color. Spruce is this kind of blue spruce green, and then we have burnished here, which is kind of like a caramel color. So those are beautiful, and we really suggest giving them a shot. They put, as you can see, I knit this hat up. It's called Ridgeline by Tin Can Knits, and the colors play really well together. And then the last thing I just want to say about news for Brooklyn Tweed is that Wool People 14 is coming out on April 8th. Yay! I am so excited for it. So some of these patterns are absolutely stunning. I can't show you preview right now, but we will show you some teaser images as soon as we're allowed to, basically. But you'll want to keep your eye out for that. There's some really great patterns coming that will help you make really good use of that Brooklyn Tweed Apart Together discount. So in this segment, we're going to talk about our favorite things. And even though the bricks and mortar shop has been closed, we had lots of exciting things planned. So we've got all kinds of new products coming into the shop. So what better way to share those with you than through video? So we're going to start with an exciting new product that we received. This is the C-Knit interchangeable needle set by Kinki Amibari. So Kinki Amibari is an over 100-year-old company from Japan, and they make bamboo knitting needles, and the bamboo is sourced from 100% Japanese grown moso and timber bamboo. It's really great quality, solid bamboo. And the needles all feature sort of like a swivel joint, and it also has a nice flexible cord. So I'm going to show you the interchangeable set, and Sarah has been working with some of the fixed circulars, so in a minute she's going to show you those. But this is sort of, we've been really, even though we've been closed, we've been pretty busy. So this was my gift to myself, we'll put it that way. And it's a really gorgeous set, very minimalistic. The pattern is a Japanese star. The sewing on the case is just absolutely perfect and gorgeous. And one nice unique thing about it is that it comes with the smaller needle sizes. So the smallest size that you get is actually a 2.5. So for you sock knitters who like magic loop and who like bamboo needles, this would be a really beautiful premium bamboo set to get. And then it goes all the way up to a 6mm. And then there's additional tip sizes too that we could order for you if you'd like to do that. So I'm just going to show you, and this is hilarious because I was like, where are the cords? This thing is so well designed that the pouch in the bag was like completely hidden to me at first. But it's got this beautiful little pouch in the back, and it comes with quite a number of cords. And I just really love the look of these like brass tips with the natural bamboo. So I'm just going to show you how this works. So there's two sizes of the connectors, and see, look at this just kind of swivels. When I get the needle on, I'll show you a little bit better. So they've got bigger connectors for the bigger sizes and smaller ones for the smaller needle sizes. So this is the needle that I worked with. I was swatching for a Magnolia chunky cardigan, and I used this 6mm needle. So it's got this nice sort of flexible cord, which is great for magic loop, but it's also sturdy enough for slightly heavier projects. And it's just, it's a twist-on join, but because of the swivel on the end, it does not come apart easily. So you just kind of screw that on like so, and then it gives you this sort of like perfectly smooth join. And because of the swivel tip, it won't come unscrewed because you can sort of turn this around ad nauseum, and it's not going to come undone, but it comes undone easily enough, so you just have to give it kind of a little twist back in the other direction. So I made this top secret swatch for something that we'll be announcing in the future with the needle, and I found like it had great stitch definition. The needle itself, like sometimes with bamboo you kind of feel like maybe it's the tip is going to splinter or something like that, but this has like a very smooth, well polished quality to it. You can really tell that like it's a good quality bamboo, and you just feel really nice about working with it. Like there's definitely like pride and craftsmanship put into these products. So now I'm just going to turn this over to Sarah, who's going to talk to you about a couple other of the Kinki products that we got in.
Okay, so I actually put these needles to the test. As a lot of you guys know, I'm a sock knitter. I love socks, totally my jam. Usually what I do is actually I do the magic loop. So Kinki has a pair of, or a set of, I should say, asymmetrical sock needles. So what it is a 9-inch sock cord. So you can see it's quite small. What is different about these guys is that one of the needles is actually a little bit longer than the other. And so the reason they do that, here, let me line them up so you can see better, is so that way when you're knitting, you can actually get a better grip, and I usually like sort of brace my thumb on the longer needle, so it's less awkward. And so I thought, you know what, like I'm gonna give them a try. I decided I would test them out with a zobber ball. So if you've ever knit socks, you know that these zobber balls can be a pretty fine sock yarn. And a couple of things right off the hop. For starters, I'm gonna show you just with this set of needles, but mine came in the exact same packaging, is that the packaging themselves is actually a storage device. So pro tip, it comes with a package like this. This is not a hair elastic. I totally thought it was a hair elastic, and I actually pulled it apart and was like, oh, it's a free hair elastic. And I put it in my hair, and I was like, how great is this? Like, so functional. It's not. So, but I'll show you. You can still use it as one, I guess, but it does have another function. And this is great for those of us who are always complaining, like, what do we do with all our circulars? So what you're supposed to do is you do your knitting. When you're done, you put them back in the package. This guy closes over like that. You take the elastic, it goes back on the packaging like so, and then you can write the needle size and length. There's even a little section right here on the package for you, so when you're all done with your needles, instead of storing it with a big long cord, you can actually just store it like this. And it's really nice and neat, which actually I thought was amazing. So, and the other thing, so you know what? Okay, I got them out of the package, was wowed by the packaging / free hair elastic. That is not free hair elastic. But then I thought, okay, so let's put them to the test. So, honest review, first round was always a little awkward. But the first round, whether you're using DPNs or magic loop, it's always, the first round of anything is always awkward because there's no weight on your needle. As I got going, I actually thought that these were really great to knit with. So I'm using a 2.75 using a zobber ball. If you're curious, I am making Hermione's Everyday Sock because that is an amazing pattern on Ravelry, which goes great with zobber balls. And you know what? I had no problems. It's literally like knitting in the round, like pretty much any other size needle. So you know what? And for a bamboo needle, I almost always use metal needles. I have to say, actually, it was great. Like, it is a great experience, and I'm glad that I have these in my collection because there are definitely going to be times in some sock patterns where it's easier to knit in the round, whether you're dealing with cables or yarn over. You're not going to want a magic loop or DPN it. And having them asymmetrical, so when I'm knitting, and I can actually just brace, if you can see, like I'm just sort of bracing my thumb against it like that, and it just gives me just a little more maneuverability, and I don't feel like I'm knitting like this. It's actually pretty straightforward and pretty much like you're working with a regular needle, which is really nice. So you know what, if you knit socks, that actually might be something you would really be interested in checking out.
So our next favorite thing is the Moonwake cowl, and I'm sure like you have to be living under a rock not to have seen this on Instagram or in the top 20 on Ravelry. So it's a cowl pattern by Andrea Mowry, and it uses 4 colors of Myak baby yak medium, so 100% baby yak fleece, which is sourced from the Tibetan plateau from nomadic shepherds. So because it was so popular, sort of one day all of a sudden our online store just started blowing up and everybody was buying 4 different colors of Myak. So I decided, okay, I need to cast this on right away. So I finished my Moonwake, and it's just a Mobius cowl, and the way that it works is you knit the whole thing in the round on 16-inch circular needles. And it's just a very simple color work repeat where you just alternate through all the different colors that you choose, and then at the end you just graft the 2 sides together. So you start with an easy like crochet provisional cast on, you end with those live stitches, and then you just graft it, and you can't even tell where the cowl starts or ends. And then that means you can just carry the yarn up on the inside too, and you don't have to worry about weaving in ends and things like that because it's all trapped on the inside. So this is super soft and squishy. So the one I'm wearing now that I made, I used black. This is Night Flower, and this green color is called Emerald, and then we've got Mustard. And then just before we started filming, I decided I was going to come up with a new combo. So these 4 colors I think would make an awesome combo, and I think generally the thought process is you kind of need like 2 mediums and 1 dark to make it work. So I've chosen as an option, we've got Burgundy, Oatmeal, this is Tibetan Sky, it's kind of like a greeny gray color, and this is Chocolate. And actually the oatmeal and the chocolate, these are both natural undyed colors. So this is exactly how it comes off the baby yak, and there's no bleaching or depigmentation used in this yarn. So every other color is over dyed on either this shade, and then there's like a medium tone in between, which is why the colors have so much depth and dimension. You can really see those kind of like brown undertones coming through. I guarantee you'll love working with this yarn. It's super soft and cozy. And this cowl is just like a really quick and easy project. It would be really great for somebody who hasn't done a lot of color work because the color work motifs are pretty simple and the whole thing is in the round. And I definitely recommend this project if you're looking for something kind of relaxed but not too relaxed to do while you're stuck at home.